surgeons keep our hearts beating. They do the amazing, help save lives, and so can you. Your CSL plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines that can give Grandpa the chance for his heart to swell when he meets his new grandson, or give a bride the chance for her heart to skip a beat on her wedding day. Every plasma donation helps more than you know. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate today at your local CSL Plasma Center and be rewarded for your generosity.
It's spring cleaning time, and I am vacuuming everything this year, even the creepy attic. Why? Because I'm a Dunkin' Rewards member, so I get ahead by using my rewards as fuel, and fuel it does. And now you can get ahead too. Dunkin' Rewards members get a $3 medium cold brew every day all month long, like the new caramel chocolate cold brew. Not a member? Join on the Dunkin' app. Dunkin' Rewards. Save them, stack them, use them how you want. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per day. Additional charges and terms may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Well, things have gone to shit again. I feel like every year we have an episode where it starts as, well, things have gone to shit.
Yeah, I don't know what to think.
I have other reasons to think it's gone to shit, so we'll discuss later, because we're going to get the fun stuff out of the way first, where we're not depressed. So as we said last week, we're doing Hall of Fame and WrestleMania fashion to boot, whatever, fashion photo review, not copyrighted.
Maybe a shoot. Who knows?
Media shoot. Shoot or work or shoot, whatever we're going to call it.
Oh.
Anyway, so we sent each other about 47 outfits, but I feel like, again, as I was telling her, I think we have doubles, but from different angles.
But different angles is good.
Yeah, it will be okay. I think we sent each other about 4 of Charlotte. So, yeah. Okay.
It's good to see the angles, though.
It is. It is. So let's start with our fashion work shoot photo review bullshit thing that we're doing.
And we'll try to describe these outfits so that we're not just talking about outfits randomly. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yes. Also, you can also Google it and just put in wrestler's name, Hall of Fame 2023, and it'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
So also, these pictures have been everywhere, so it's not that hard to find them. Okay, so our first one is the one that we talked about last week. Charlotte and Andrade El Idolo.
They're both a toot.
It's a total toot. Also, her dad gets a boot for trying to match them, but failing miserably.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, they're both wearing like these like bronzy colors and like.
Yes. And she's like literally sparkling. I think his suit is satin or silk.
It's like a goldish bronzy color.
The bronzy silk, and she's got bronze undertone for her sparkly dress. And then her dad, his whole ass gets up there with a bronzy, like his suit has a bronzy color that matches Charlotte's dress. It was a little weird. But anyway, total toot for both of them. They are a gorgeous couple. My God, gorgeous.
She's taking another break, so maybe they're actually going to have babies this time.
She's doing bodybuilding competition, is what I heard.
Oh.
So no baby.
Well, that's
unless it happens, then you know those things happen.
They do.
The next one is a threefer. We have Bailey, Io, and Dakota. I have 3 different opinions on these.
Hold on. Are we in Instagram or are we in Twitter? Where are we
I'm on Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, let me get there.
Yes. Again, I think we sent doubles on each one too, so.
All right, so let me get back to there.
Yeah, I sent a lot of doubles.
Got it. All right. Bailey is a boot.
You know what? I like Bailey's only because I get the jacket. I get it because it's a Rey Mysterio jacket, and it kind of is a themed kind of thing.
I mean, she's the best of the 3.
Oh, yeah. Out of the 3, she is the best. Let's be honest. I would wear the red dress. I think it's gorgeous. I see what she did with the jacket. I get that. Like, Bailey's, I can understand the theme. Io?
No.
Io looks kind of like a grandma's couch. But
it's like a tea room or something.
But I love the shoes. I'm all about those shoes. I like the shoes.
It's like a pastel mixed pattern.
It looks like an old grandma's couch at a tea room shop.
Yeah,
But
no.
she's got some good shoes on.
Yeah, they're all right.
I'd wear those shoes. And then Dakota is a total boot.
Oh my God.
I cannot find anything redeemable about the outfit. It looks like aluminum foil.
Yeah, and the boots look like those boots that Latrice wore on Drag Race 1,000
Yes, and remember, she got red for those.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Dakota is a total boot. Io, I like the shoes, and Bailey, you're the best out of the three.
She is, but still boot.
Okay. Our next one is Mr. and Mrs. Alistair Malachi Black and Zelina Vega Black. He is a toot and she is a boot.
Yeah.
He looks good.
I
But
don't know what that is she's wearing.
I don't know either. The I like the shoes,
Yeah.
but like I don't understand the lace
Thigh-highs?
lace thigh high on one leg. I don't understand that.
The lining of the skirt and that. Yeah,
I don't understand it. I'm not a fan. But Malachi, Alistair, Black, you get a toot because that is a nice suit. It's a nice suit. Our next one is the picture with the 4. We're only going to do 2 out of the 4 on here. We have Montez Ford and Bianca Belair.
Toot. Both.
Toot. They're out. Okay, but can we just talk about how 3 people had that suit jacket on?
Do they?
3 people did. It was Sonya Deville, Montez Ford, and Byron all had that same jacket on.
Well, I feel like Montez probably did it the best.
Sonya's was not bad because her and her girlfriend had the matching look going.
Okay.
Her girlfriend had the jumpsuit in that same sparkly material, but it was a jumpsuit.
Okay. I guess we'll get there. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. But it looked good. Byron looked the worst. But still, it wasn't. You know what? It was the best he's looked, though. So, good for him. Total toot on both of them. That it's just iconic. And our next one is Brandy Rhodes and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes wore the same thing on SmackDown.
Yeah. Boot.
I'm gonna go boot. I don't like her dress.
I don't like Cody's socks either. Those socks.
Yeah, the socks are way out of place. The dress, you know what the dress reminds me of? Remember in like 2001, where like girls would have those halter tops where it has like the kind of like crushed beading, and it would always fall off in the wash. That's what that looks like.
It looks cheap. It does look cheap.
It looks like Fashion Nova. Looks like Fashion Nova.
Her legs look nice though.
I like her shoes, and she looks great other than the dress.
Cody just looks ordinary.
Cody looks the same as he usually does.
Yeah.
Now it is my best dressed trio of the evening. We have Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley, who is wearing a dress, which is totally different than Rhea Ripley not wearing a dress.
She looks very feminine, very, very
She
feminine.
does. She looked okay when they panned that camera to her. She looked gorgeous. Like, yeah. So that is my best dressed trio of the evening.
She looks good. That's not a shoot, but it's close.
I'm going. She was one of the best dressed of the evening.
Yeah.
Dominic and Damian Priest obviously were all black. They look great though. They look great.
Not mad at it.
Not mad at it. I think they should dress like that more often.
Toots across the board.
Toots across the board for Judgment Day. Daddy Balor was not there, but I'm sure he would have looked amazing.
With some purple accents, probably.
Ooh, yeah. With that bandana in his pocket and the suit. Oh. Daddy Balor, you robbed us, damn it. Next are my two of my biggest boots of the whole thing.
Ooh, yeah.
Trish Stratus and Lita.
I like Trish's shoes.
Yes. But everything else on that outfit.
That's horrible.
Awful. Awful, awful, awful.
It's like one side is like a jacket, like a blazer,
jacket.
And the other side's like
a crop top.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. And the pants don't fit right. If you look down by the shoes, the pants aren't hemmed right. It looks like she just kind of was like, yeah, this looks good, and decided that was it. Now this is my worst dress, Lita. What the fuck is that?
Hot Topic. That's what it looks like.
That's not even Hot Topic. That's like
Claire's?
I went to a fabric store and grabbed whatever they had on the clearance rack and decided it would be a dress.
Yeah, no.
It's awful. It's like polka dotty with like stripes on lining. The back. Yeah. I think the stripes is like a train almost.
And combat boots.
Yeah, and the neckline goes all the way up.
She looks like an old lady. They both look old in these pictures. They both look really
But
old.
like Lita isn't a good old. It's like she looks like a bag lady. She looks like a bag lady. All right. Next is another older gal, but still gorgeous. Stacy Keibler.
That's a toot.
That's a toot. She looked incredible. I think I aged more in the past 2 weeks than she has in like 15 years.
And she gets Botox, it's very light because her face is just fine.
Who is her esthetician? I want to know because she looks gorgeous. She looks beautiful. Our next one is the McIntyres, Drew and his lovely wife, who always looks good, and they are both toots in my book.
Her from neck up, she looks great. I don't really like that dress. I'm gonna boot her from the neck down and then toot him.
I just think it's cute. Part of me wonders, is she preggo?
Yeah, that she just likes bloated. To eat.
You know, good for her either way.
And that her hair is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Mrs. Drew McIntyre is always gorgeous. Our next one is Scarlett Bordeaux and Killer Cross. Wow.
I mean, she's a shoot.
Wow. I saw that picture and I'm like, I am never going to be beautiful ever in my life. Ever. I'm always going to look like this fucking... You know the best part is when I saw her on the Hall of Fame, I was eating Cinnabread. So I felt even more disgusting about myself.
Do you know what the older I get, what I get jealous of on women more than anything else?
What?
Jaw lines.
Oh, yeah.
Like no double chin, no turkey neck, no nothing.
Just she's like my age, so I have no excuse.
Like perfect.
She's not even that.
Does she do that gua sha thing like 10 times a day?
I know.
Like her jawline is like amazing.
How? And then Killer Cross is giving Christian Grey vibes.
Yeah, he is a toot. She's a shoot for me.
Why are you tooting him? He looks good.
I said he's a toot. He's a toot. She's a shoot though. That green is really pretty. Her hair looks really pretty. Her makeup
looks
really
perfect. And then that second picture, she just looks like the adoring wife of her husband who never gets booked on anything.
And look at that jawline.
She knew. She knew. She was like, jawline.
Let's show this off.
All right, another one of my worst dressed, Dana Brooke.
Yeah,
it's a total boob.
Good. Her boobs don't look good in it.
No,
they look like they're sagging.
Okay, can I just say this? The one on the right looks like it's in Wisconsin, and the one on the left looks like it's in Louisiana.
Yeah,
like they don't look symmetrical.
If it had been the color of the lower half and it didn't have those cutouts, it would have been better. But it's not good. And her hair doesn't. I don't like her hair like that.
Her hair is just like in a messy bun.
Yeah, I don't like that. It makes her head look bigger than her neck.
Yeah, that's gross. Anyway, we have Samantha Irving, who is the announcer of SmackDown, and her fiance Ricochet doing a matching ensemble.
I'm gonna toot her, but boot him.
You know, I like the shoes. I'll give him that. His shoes match his coat.
That's a little too much. And it's I don't like the pants should have been blue too.
My only thing with her is like if her top was a little like looser, I feel like it's really tight.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I agree.
Well, she looks like she has smaller boobs, so maybe she's just trying to maximize the.
But also, I feel like it's just really tight too.
Yeah.
Like it. there's a difference between I'm trying to accentuate and I put 5 pounds of shit in a 3-pound
That's
bag.
true, but I have small boobs. I know the tighter it is,
True.
the more it like pushes them up and together.
True.
So
She's got a point. Next, we have the maximum male models, and I'm gonna tell you, toots across the board on here.
I don't like the shoes on what's the guy on the right's name?
Mansois.
I don't like the shoes.
Yeah, Mansois' shoes are a little much, but he's on his shoes, so I feel like that gives it a little bit more. He's literally on his shoes, but otherwise,
I'm gonna shoot the other two and boot him because I don't like that.
Yeah, Masse looks beautiful. That's a beautiful outfit. And of course, Maxine, gorgeous. Next, we have the woman who makes OnlyFans content with her sister Natalia, and I hate it because
I actually like it. Except for I don't really like the flowers on her boobs, but I like the
flowers on her boobs.
But I like the color, and I think she looks really pretty. I don't normally think she looks pretty.
The flowers are distracting. It looks like 2 giant cinnamon rolls right on her nipples.
It does, but that's the prettiest I've seen her look in a long time. So yeah. I'm gonna toot it. It's a soft toot, as they say.
And I don't like it's a soft toot, and I don't like the shoes.
Shoes are okay.
Next we have the woman that we figured out is like the most relatable fashion-wise on the entire thing is Nikki Cross in her Fashion Nova look.
Yeah, boot.
I mean, she tried. I'll give her that. She tried.
She did. First of all, she looks better with her hair down. She should have wore her hair down.
Well,
and there's no jewelry, no nothing. I don't like it. No, it looks like Brandy's, only it's just cut different.
Well, I'll say this: Nikki Cross's is at least sequins. Brandy's looks like that crushed beading, and I don't like that. All right, next we have.
Did you toot it or boot it? Because you didn't.
I booted.
Okay.
I said it's the best. She's trying though. We're giving her an A for effort, but still not a toot. Next we have Kathy Kelly, the woman who is dumb enough to give up Finn Balor. Boot.
I like the fact she has really nice legs, and that you can see that little heart. Is that a real tattoo, or did she draw?
I believe that is a real tattoo.
And you can see her little tattoo, and I like her shoes, but I don't like the color of the dress. Or
you know what this dress just tells me? I'm not wearing a bra or panties. That's what this dress tells me.
Maybe she has those little modesty patches like they wear in the movies.
She's got like a little cup over her hoo-ha. But yeah, she's
neck up. She looks great.
Yeah, I don't like the ruching either. It makes you look a little paunchy.
Yeah, it makes her look she has belly.
It makes her look paunchy.
And I do like her legs though. They're nice.
I mean, yeah. If I could have those legs, shit. Next we have the woman I first saw at Hall of Fame and was like,
this is my favorite. I think her and Scarlett are my favorite.
Okay, I'll just tell you right now, guys. 1, I was stunned. 2, how did I know it would be your favorite?
I don't know.
Carmella with her pasties.
First of all, she should never go blonde ever again.
Agreed.
She looks so good with the brunette hair. And it's kind of Pamela Anderson-esque. I love it.
I feel like Pamela Anderson was a big inspiration on the red carpet.
For the hair, and for the hair too.
The hair, the makeup, the clothes, for a lot of people, including Liv Morgan, who we'll get to later. Yeah. Who just
this is
straight up ripped it off.
This is a shoot, and Corey looks really good too.
You know what? They're in the running for best dressed couple. Looking good. Now we have the woman who went straight up Pamela Anderson, and that is Liv Morgan.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I wanted to like it.
I'm gonna give it a boot.
Like you can see her pants.
Like my problem is they're not even like
cute panties or like granny panties.
These are granny panties.
These are the panties I wear on a Tuesday at work. These are not the panties that I'm wearing out on Friday night.
These are the panties I pull out of my drawer and I'm like, why not? These aren't my like I'm trying to impress anybody.
No.
That's a Tuesday panty.
Yeah, these are nobody is getting anywhere near this tonight, so I'm wearing whatever I want to wear. And they're like white. They're like not even purple. She could look so much better than that.
There is not one thing about that outfit I like.
I like the hat.
I like how she's very confident. I mean, I'll give her that. I you know
It's
what?
not
A for
good.
confidence. I don't like the makeup either.
No, it's too dark.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Now we have
Oh,
another.
Sonya's in that picture with her. I see
She
the
is,
jacket.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she is. We have Xia Li, who's wearing yet another Fashion Nova original.
Yeah. No. Boot.
It's a boot for me. No, thank you.
If she was going to the club, it'd be great.
Yeah. Next we have Asuka dressed like my mom.
No. Boot.
Also, I really do think my mom has that outfit. Like I'm
Oh
I'm
my
not even
God.
joking. I think my mom has that outfit. And she's almost
No.
she's not, you know.
Yeah,
She's
it's a
not.
big no.
Yeah. Next we have Lacey Evans, who decided she would be Marilyn Monroe.
That's disgusting and offensive.
I
I am offended.
am offended.
Marilyn would
Yeah.
hate her.
Well, I'll give her this. She didn't actually take Marilyn's dress and wear it. So, I mean, there's that.
Well, she probably couldn't fit into it.
But that is awful.
No. No. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
And those shoes.
Those shoes are awful.
And she's wearing fishnets with that? No.
It's
Mm-mm.
awful. I think she's trying to go for a pinup look, but no.
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 Right, please switch
Okay, well, here we could just look at Damian Priest on his own. I love his shoes.
Mm,
I like the shoes.
nice.
The shoes are nice. Okay, then we
He's looking
have
better.
the man who only owns one suit, Sami Zayn, and his beautiful wife, Khadijah, who we have just learned about, but we love her to pieces and we think she's great.
Where was that? Did I miss that somewhere?
No, it's go down under where you told me Jay White.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't boot them.
I can't. The man only owns one suit.
I mean, they don't match. She's wearing a black dress and he's wearing a blue suit.
because he only owns one suit, Jen.
Does she not own a blue dress?
Probably not. Okay,
But she's so cute. I
switch,
can't.
switch over to Instagram.
I can't boot it.
Switch over to Instagram. Let's see if we've missed anything. So there's the whiter shot of Rhea's dress. That's beautiful.
Well, we can do Sonya. There's Sonya.
Let's do Shotzi first. I think Sonya's down there too.
Okay.
Shotzi, I am impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I like that outfit. Like, wow. I'd wear that.
It's okay.
I'd
I
wear
don't
it.
hate it.
I'm giving it a boot.
A boot?
Or a toot, sorry. I was looking at Chelsea Green.
I'll give it a 2.
I was looking at Chelsea Green when I said
You're
it.
gonna boot Chelsea?
Yes. I don't like it.
I don't hate that.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't like the draping. The draping is just a no for me. I feel like if it had been all like one piece. Also, her sister looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Her sister looks beautiful. I just don't like the dress. I don't like the draping.
I'm
Not a
gonna
fan of
tweet
it.
it.
Okay. Next we have Miz and Maurice.
Well, Maurice is basically always a 2, right?
I mean, yeah, it's Maurice.
And I like her
Like,
shoes.
I love her shoes. I love her dress. I'd wear that dress. Like, I feel like Miz and Maurice are very stylish, so you can never like they hardly ever miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
Okay.
both a 2.
Both a toot. Mia Yim in a
No.
lovely pastel lavender suit.
You mean with capris? Capri
No,
pants?
that is high waters, not capris. Capris go to the knee. High waters are
That's a boot.
that's a boot for me. She looks like she's going to a board meeting. Okay, now we have Sonya Deville and her fiance in matching outfits.
Yeah, they're both a 2.
It's both a two. It's a look. You know what? I love their love for one.
Mhm.
For two, I love how they're like, we're fucking engaged and we're gonna wear matching outfits.
Mhm.
That's great. Great. Toots all around for them.
There's Lillian Garcia.
Okay, that's where I'm at right now. Lillian Garcia and Molly Holly.
Oh God, Lillian is a 2.
And Molly's a
Molly is a boot.
boot.
And now I see that slit on Lita's skirt
And that makes it worse.
with the thigh high.
Yeah, that
fishnet.
makes it worse.
Stocking, yeah, no.
Okay, so now we're gonna go do some random. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do random looks from WrestleMania night, starting with Maurice. Um,
The disco ball dress?
yeah, the disco ball dress.
That's a toot.
I love the shoes. The shoes are everything.
Mhm.
I just like a sparkly shoe. You can win me over with a sparkly shoe. Then we have the Miz wearing a somewhat matching sparkly suit to
I
Maurice's.
like it.
It is. I'm telling you, they can't miss.
I don't really like the tie, but everything else I
Well,
like.
the ties, yeah. I feel like he thought he had to wear a tie. Now we have Daddy Balor. Now listen, this one right here is not not something that we're opposed to looking at because it's Daddy Balor, and I think he looks great.
That's a shoot right there.
That is a shoot. Look at those pants. God.
And the bandana tied on his face.
Bandana, the sunglasses. Man, he is the man with the pants. And his comment says the caption says bow down. Wow. I love it. Loves it. Next one, we have Dexter Lumis from the Hall of Fame. And I thought it was a nice look for Mr. Dexter.
I like it.
Yes.
Toot.
It's a toot. I like the gloves. And then finally, we're going to look at this picture that has just a bunch of random WrestleMania gears. And we're going to say whether we like them or not. Which I'm going to tell you, on these best fit ones, I feel like everybody's was good on this picture. Other than Charlotte, where I thought it looked, like those like bubble wraps they put in Amazon packages. I feel like that's what her coat looked like just a bunch of Amazon bubble wraps, just sewn together. That was the note, but her gear underneath it was good. So I'll give her that. Seth Rollins was dressed as a whore, a whole ass whore.
He looked like he was ready to go to the gay bar on Thursday.
Oh, he was ready. I'm like, I saw that. I was like, Becky, are you sure? Are you sure him and Mox didn't do a little something? Because,
he would be a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
He would. Oh my God, yes. But he's a whore. He's got a fucking... Guys, when he took that jacket off, I was like... He had on assless chaps, but he had something underneath it. But assless chaps and a fucking harness and it's hot pink. And he's just living his best life. Usually you'd say something like, God love him, but here we are. That was... Yeah. And since I've seen a video of Becky saying that she was jealous of the outfit. So...
Relatable.
Wow. Relatable. If I was a man, I would dress like that. But I'm not a man, so. And if I wore it as a woman, I'd get a lot of crimes. So, then we have Drew McIntyre, who decided to wear a white kilt.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, my mom liked it. My mom was a fan. She liked that. It wasn't bad. It reminded me of the Hardy Boys pants in a way, though, so I kind of laughed about it. Next we have Daddy Balor. Okay, Demon Daddy Balor. In the entrance that I was like,
can I just say I didn't like when he was holding those canisters with the purple stuff coming
out.
I think he'd been shooting it up from the ground.
I feel like he was in Burning Man. You know what? You know what I would have liked more? But this is the thirsty hoe in me saying this. I would rather have him climb the entire way down and they have the smoke coming up and he's just climbing like he's going to climb in your bed and do dirty, dirty things to you. I'd prefer that, but yeah.
It was all right.
What do I know? Next we have Edge with his disco ball mask, his wings, his brood patch on his clothes. It was a lot.
It was a lot, but I thought he actually looked really good.
He did, but
Like sometimes when he comes out, he looks like he's like at death's door.
he
And I
kind of
actually thought he kind of looked good.
He looked like he was alive.
Yeah, he looked rested.
He looked well rested.
He did.
Next we have Asuka. I loved Asuka's outfit. I mean, it's very Asuka-y, but you know what? It looked good. I was a fan. Then we have Rhea Ripley. I loved the look.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked great. Also, her jacket was like the first one that she's ever actually paid for, so good for her.
Oh.
She actually makes all of her other ones.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, this is the first one I ever paid for. I'm like, first of all, amazing. Then we have her Latino Heat himself, Dominic.
Love the whole thing.
That entrance. I was like, okay, first of all, Dominic, why do you look hot? This is
I
weird.
know, right?
Yeah, I was looking at him like,
it's something about a man with handcuffs.
Yeah, something about a man who leaves prison in handcuffs that were like, oh. I feel like
bad boy syndrome.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then his pants said "mommy" on them.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the callbacks on his gear like got me. He had the pants that said "mommy." His actual tights had like one of the designs that Eddie had before, and the colors were based off of Ray's Halloween Havoc with the same mask. And I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. Also, Damian Priest said he was backstage cracking up the entire time as he watched Dominic get out of the prison van. Because, you know. And then finally, we have a couple left. I thought we were done. We have Ray and his tribute to the Great Muta.
It was nice.
It's nice. He said they've been working on that for a while. So, Bianca Belair in a handmade number.
It was cute. Not my favorite of hers.
Yeah. And then finally, Trish Stratus in her throwback to WrestleMania 19, where she
redeemed herself.
She did. She redeemed herself.
Hall of Fame.
Yes. Thank the lords above. She's redeemed herself. But yeah, I thought those were all. I kind of agreed with that graphic though, that they were all pretty good. Like there's very few that I was like, oh my god, what are you thinking? So, I mean, I'll give it that. But yes, the toots and boots around here are just toots and bootin' today. We're toots and bootin'. Yeah. Also, I think the Hall of Fame looks are getting better because sometimes I feel like we have a lot more people, like every year we have a lot more that are like, oh, ugh. So, I'll give them that. There's improvement. They're improving.
Becoming more of an event, I guess.
It is. That, you know what though? I think the red carpet is almost like overshadowing the actual Hall of Fame now, because the red carpet is like what I watch for.
Right.
Like afterwards, I'm like, yeah, that's good, but that red carpet though. It's like the Oscars. Nobody cares about the Oscars. They just care about what everybody wears.
Right.
Yes. So, and we never get moments like that in wrestling where we can toots and boots a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's our toots and boots. We have a lot to say from here on out.
Who's your top?
My top toot. I have a three-way tie.
Okay.
Scarlett, Rhea, and I'm trying to think. Aleister Black. He looked good.
Mine's Carmella.
Good look. You know what? I knew it would be. You know what? That is a look.
It is.
It's a look.
A look that I could never wear, but I love it.
If I wore it, the stars would be down. Way down.
There's so much about that outfit I couldn't do. Not just the boobs. Like
nobody.
Too
I'll
big.
tell you right now.
And the legs. That's about it.
Nobody would want to see either of us.
No.
I would not want to look in the mirror of me wearing that. I'd be like, I feel god awful about myself now. Thank you. Thank you. gonna go drown myself. Thanks. But yeah, it's a look. It's a look. That's all I'm gonna say. It's something I'd never wear. Okay, so if you've like read the title, you're gonna know that from here on out, we're not gonna have, I mean, there's some positives. I'm not gonna say there's no positives. There are some, but the negatives are certainly outweighing the positives right now.
Yeah.
In multiple companies, not just the WWE.
That's true.
So I figured I'd throw that in.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's start with the positives since that is a smaller list. And then we'll finish out with everything that went terrible. Okay. So positive, Rhea Ripley is now our amazing, spectacular SmackDown Women's Champion.
And that was a really good match.
It was a very, you know what? One of the best matches of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Across companies, not just that, just one of the best across wrestling for the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely that was the match I was having like palpitations on. I was like, oh my God. Because there was a part of me that was like, they're gonna screw her over. Like I
was having that in the tag match.
Like, oh, I did too there, but like I was like, okay, because Rhea won, and I was like, oh my God, are they really gonna give us back-to-back
feel good moments?
Well, 3 because Ray, but I didn't feel good about that. But you know, 3 feel good moments in a row.
Because they were preparing you for night 2.
Yeah, because they were like, hey, Vince is back, so here you go. So in night 1, if we're just looking at night 1, that is top 10 WrestleManias of all time. Night 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like
there wasn't a weak match. Even like the 4 I mean
the men's
tag. Yeah, it was
that men's tag. I was like, this is the sleeper moment. The only I was like, Cena in theory could be good, but the men's tag is gonna suck. It went the other way. The men's tag was so good, and Cena in theory sucked.
I think it sucked. I don't think any match that night sucked. Well, it wasn't great.
Sucked in terms of they honed it in big time. Like John was very much like, ooh, I don't want to get hurt. Ooh, don't suplex me too hard. Ooh,
right.
So I mean, it didn't suck, but it was like I did get a laugh out of it though because John Cena came out with the Make-A-Wish kids.
Yeah,
and I was like, there's no way they're gonna have him lose with the Make-A-Wish kids there. Like that's fucked up. And then he lost, and I was like, oh. Well,
his hair upsets me every time I see it. I kept staring at it.
He didn't put his topics on before he went out.
He didn't.
So, but yeah, night 1 I feel like was all around good. Like even, I'm gonna tell you right now, Dominic Mysterio is the MVP for the Triple H era. Because before he got with the Judgment Day, he fucking sucked. Let's be honest. He couldn't talk. He couldn't do anything. He kind of just followed his dad and Edge around wearing hand-me-down clothes, doing God knows what. And then he went out and had that match, and I was like...
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember our end of the year awards, that was the person we gave MVP of the year of. He might be MVP of the year again. The man is improving.
At the end of this quarter.
At the end of this quarter, he is still the MVP of wrestling in general. The man, I don't know how in like 8 months he went from that to this, but like, imagine in 8 more months.
He needs to keep working out though.
I think, well, it's only been 8 months, Jen. What do you expect?
I know, but I just don't see that much change in his body. Everything else is changing.
There's subtle changes, but I think
that's one of the reasons why I got all those tattoos on his arms.
Not only that, but I also feel like he's kind of he's like a stocky kid. He was always a stocky kid. So he's one of those guys who's like always it's like Bray Wyatt. He's always gonna be the stocky kid.
He's never gonna be like, he looks skinny. His arms are skinny.
Well, I don't
Maybe
like
it's because
that.
I'm an arm person. I don't know.
You are. She's an
Like-
arm person all day.
I'm like, maybe he just needs to bulk up his arms a little bit.
He's well.
His workout partners could be Rhea, Finn, and
Damien.
Martinez. Yeah.
Punishment Martinez.
Like, I mean, come on.
Also, I'm just gonna say it now. I never liked Punishment Martinez, but man, is Damian Priest winning me over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more likable than he used to be.
Yeah. Especially
He's
on like
looking better. He's looking better too.
Well, Rhea is his everyday workout partner.
Oh.
Maybe Dominic needs to join them.
He does. He does.
Also, can I just say, the fact that on Monday when they destroyed Bad Bunny, he's like, that's just what I do to my friends. Imagine if I actually hated him. Like, brilliant. Brilliant. But yeah, he's a lot more likable now. I'll give him that.
Mhm.
So night one, we have no complaints.
No. And it ended with the most beautiful thing ever.
It was beautiful. I cried. I cried. Guys, Sammy and Kevin went out there and did it. It was beautiful. And then at the press conference, Kevin ate like 4 Snickers bars while he was sitting there. And I was just like, oh.
And he said they couldn't have done it without Jay Briscoe.
Yeah. I cried then too. And then Rhea Ripley, he only took 1 Snickers bar because she was like, I haven't had anything since breakfast, so this is what I'm gonna go eat this. So good for her. But by the time Hunter got there, there was like 3 Snickers bars left because Kevin got hungry. So, but yeah, I feel like night one was great. Dominic, obviously that entrance was amazing. The match was good.
Mhm.
Rhea and Charlotte was great. The tag match was amazing.
Mhm.
Both tag matches were great. Cena, I understand why, but still, it was not bad. I just laughed
Right.
at the Make-A-Wish kids getting screwed over. It was kind of funny, which I'm going to hell, but Then, everybody was on such a high. They were like, you know what? If night one was this good, night 2 is going to be great.
Mhm.
And it wasn't.
Well, there were some good parts.
There were high points.
The triple threat was really, really
The triple
really good.
the triple threat was up there with Rhea and Charlotte. But
Yeah.
after that,
Bianca and Asuka was all right.
Brock and Almost was a hot mess.
Yeah.
It was a hot mess. Like, it lasted 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And Brock won. Which that should have been our indicator right there of but I was like, okay.
See, I'm not as mad about the Brock thing later on as you are, because I think it can be a good thing. But go on.
See the Brock thing, I think I'm mad about it later on. We'll get into it, but I think I'm mad about it because it's not because it happened, but because of who probably ordered it.
Yeah, I get that, but I think people talk.
I can understand. I know people who are fucking pissed because it
people
happened.
are saying he's buried. I don't know. You put somebody in a storyline with Brock Lesnar like that, and that's as over as Cody is. He's not buried. I think people are freaking out a little bit too much about that.
No, but I think also they're worried though because of who came up with it. You know who we're talking about.
Cody was the highest merch seller again for the weekend, so
He was.
Vince likes money, okay? He likes money.
Well, he's no longer majority owner in the next 9 weeks, so
which is a good thing too.
In 9 weeks. Oh yeah, we'll get to that because I've looked into it, like the business end of it, and you guys know I'm a nerd for wrestling business shit. So, anyway, so night 2,
the women's tag was terrible.
The women's tag was god awful. Like Rhonda just crawled up and did nothing and won
with her ugly ass makeup on.
Oh god! And then Shayna had to wear the ugly ass makeup too. And it was so funny. There were so many people online going, "Fuck Rhonda," but Shayna, you're okay. Which is, I think, how we all collectively feel right now. Is like, Shayna, you're good. We're not mad at you, but fuck her. Yeah. Bianca and Asuka. I was not into this. We talked about this last week. I was not into this match, and I don't know many people who were, and nobody really liked it. So
It wasn't
there you go.
bad.
It was, yeah. You know what match we forgot about in night one, and I totally just remembered that we forgot about it.
Seth and
That and the damage control match.
oh yeah, that was
Okay, let's just say the Seth and Logan match, the only good thing was Seth was a whore, and I loved it. The entire match, I was just looking at him like, look at that whore. I love him.
It wasn't bad though.
It wasn't bad, but the whole time I'm like, oh my God, can he put the harness back on? Come on. And then the damage control triple threat was sad. It was just sad. Because it's just sad at this point. Like, it's just sad. It's just depressing. So then the next night, obviously the Intercontinental title match took the entire night. We're like, okay, you know what? We're like, this night kind of sucks, but you know what? We're getting to Cody and Roman. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't.
It was a good match though.
It was a decent match.
No, it was really good. I didn't have a problem with the match at all.
My problem, and this is why I kind of put it into the match, but again, this is the like wrestling nerd side of me because I consider the finish as part of the match.
Mm-hmm.
The finish didn't make a lick of fucking sense to me. It didn't. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out because I'm like, okay, if Cody, and this is just me booking it, which, obviously WWE doesn't want my help, but, booking wise, you could have made Cody lose. Like, okay, I understand Cody losing will lead to the bigger story. I get that. Like, but the way it happened, you could have had him lose in a more meaningful way. Like, for example, when Dustin and Cody had their match in All Double whatever, one of the AEW ones, Double or Nothing, I think. Did Dustin come out of that match looking weak? No. When it was Cody and Nick Aldis at All In, which I hate AEW, but that match is like still in my top 50 matches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Cody and Nick Aldis. Did Nick Aldis look weak coming out of it?
No, but I didn't think Cody looked weak in this match.
My thing is, you have Solo interfere the first time. He gets booted out. All right. So then the Usos come out. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. I feel like the way he lost, though, was like, you have Usos and Solo doing their thing, and then Roman hits a spear, and it's over. I feel like we could have gotten Cody. I mean, if you moved it up a few more minutes and gave Cody more than just spear, done. Like, you know what I mean?
I get that, but Jesus, look what all they had went through.
I know, but I want more. I'm asking for more. Give me more.
I don't know. I was
Britney
disappointed
Spears.
just because I wanted that moment, even though I'm not a huge Cody fan. It's like we all thought that's what was going to happen, so I was just like, expecting that moment. But I didn't hate it as much as some people did. Like some people are like burning their shirts and like.
Yeah, I know somebody who's really, really, really mad, and it's our friend of the show, Whitney. She's not watching anymore. So yeah, after Monday, she's like, tell me what happens. So I think my thing is I understand you want to make Cody into a bigger story. I get it. Like, and Hunter explained that. I was like, okay, but it's not like Roman is going to defend the title at Backlash. It's not like Roman's going to defend the title at Money in the Bank. Roman's not going to be back until SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be at Crown Jewel. He's not going to be at any of them. He's going to be there at SummerSlam. So from April 6th, which is today, until end of July, August, we have no champion on TV.
That's the way it's been for months, though. There's no
build. So, and you have the camp of people going, well, because Jey Uso's going to win the belt. Jey Uso's not winning the belt. That's not a money match. Sorry. the story's there, but you have not built Jey Uso up enough to make it a money match. You have not.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? Sorry to shit on your parade, but you didn't. So who are you? Say Cody has to wait till 40, which is 1 year from today. Roughly a year from today. How do you build that story? Who do you put in there in the meantime?
For him to wrestle, you mean?
For Roman to wrestle. Not Cody. Cody, we could come up with stories. Who is Roman wrestling that he has not already beat that can take the loss in the meantime, in the year's time?
Gunther?
But Gunther's a heel.
Face.
Butch face. And let's put it this way, we're not just gonna pull names out and be like, Sami Zayn again. We have to, like, who you could credibly see beating Roman.
Bobby
in the next
Lashley?
year.
Maybe.
Bobby Lashley carried a trophy out.
Poor Bobby Lashley. Did you hear about that?
Yes, and LA Knight, they both got fucked. And here's what I don't understand. Why couldn't they have wrestled The Miz? Like Pat, I would have loved to see.
Oh, we
Pat.
didn't even talk about that.
What?
About my man Shane and what happened to
I'm getting to that, but because that's honestly the funniest, most tragic thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm so sorry, Jen, but I was like, Jen's gonna be so sad about this, and then I started laughing even harder.
Well, I felt bad, but then I enjoyed the Snoop thing so much that I just was like, okay.
Oh God. Anyway, so and the best part, okay, we're going back to the Roman thing, but the best part is Hunter's announcing, like, he's at the press conference, he's like, Shane tore his quad. And you can tell he's just like,
he's enjoying it too much.
Suddenly just like, I can't fucking believe it happened and this is great. So yeah, anyway, you know what, Shane, you can rest up because you're gonna face Roman Reigns next.
I thought of one for Roman. Braun Breaker lost the.
But he's a heel now.
Yeah, but between now and then, who knows?
Discover South Carolina presents The Palmetto Porch, a podcast featuring some of the most uniquely charming destinations across the Palmetto State. I'm Devin Whitmire. Join me as I find out what's off the beaten path as I speak to South Carolina locals who know their towns best. Find The Palmetto Porch wherever you get your podcasts. And for more information about our show, visit scpalmettoporch.com.
Well, you remember you got Cody coming in at 40.
Sheamus.
I think Sheamus is going to take the Intercontinental title here.
I hope he does, but
I love Gunther though. I love Gunther. Anyway, yeah, I think they've kind of booked themselves in a corner, and now it's like the only person. I mean, you have Seth. Technically, he beat Roman. Technically, some people were saying Solo if they turn him face, which I'm like, I don't see that happening. Obviously not Brock anymore, but he beat Brock 47 times, so that doesn't need to happen. Not Bray Wyatt. Fuck, I'd put LA Knight in there. I mean, well, depending on who's booking the company now, because who knows who's booking as of tomorrow.
Montez. Possibility.
I mean, you kind of, I think if we're gonna go that route, and again, not until SummerSlam, you'd have to build them up starting like now. And again, it's who's booking the company from here on out is gonna matter. But anyway, let's talk about Shane and his oopsie doopsies. Shane McMahon. So night one, they had Pat McAfee come out and wrestle The Miz. And it was like a feel-good moment. Everybody's excited. Michael Cole didn't know, so he was like, oh, it's Pat. He was like fanboying. And it was like, everybody's like, wow, that's such a good moment. Wow. Night two comes around, and everybody's like, it has to be LA Knight. Right? Like, that's what everybody I talked to was saying. They're like, it has to be LA Knight or Bobby. out comes Shane McMahon. And I was like, first I'm stunned because like when he got fired, Vince was like, you're never going to get a pop while I own the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, well, maybe it's because he doesn't own the company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So Shane comes out and he's giving it hell, guys. He's doing his little dance and he's blown up by the time he gets to the end of the ramp because that run was fucking long. He's sweating. He's like trying to like hold his legs. He's getting ready to get in there, guys. And I'm like, you know what? Bless him. He is trying. Look at him. Look at him go. I'm like, Jen is so happy right now, I bet.
I was.
I know. And we were like, oh, yay. And then he got in and I was like, oh, he's doing those stupid punches. And I was like, oh no, don't jump. And then he jumped and tore his quad.
Poor Snoop had to save the day.
And I think the Miz just stared at him for a minute. And that was kind of the best part is the Miz just was like, what just happened?
It was kind of, it felt good for the Miz though, just a little bit.
Yeah, he's just kind of like,
this is the dude that buried me.
He's like, should have been LA Knight, but okay. So, yeah. So it happened. And Snoop saved the day, and people
they were yelling directions to him though.
They were very obviously yelling his spots to him. And
he delivered though.
He delivered, even though you could hear the audible.
Mm-hmm. And Miz is like, pin me.
Like, yeah, pin me. When that happened, I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? And then Daddy Balor walked out. And we're sitting here thinking, wow, Shane got hurt. That's the only injury. Daddy Balor got a ladder thrown at his head and had to get 14 staples in his head. He looked real good doing it, though. Man.
He should have just kept bleeding and kept going.
Yeah. But I feel like that cut was really deep, though. So I kind of feel like they were like, he's going to bleed to death. Let's not have a box situation on our hands.
I don't know about that. I busted my head open when I was 11 and I'd have 13 stitches across the top of my head. And I bled until I had blood in my shoes, all up to the top of my shoes. And I was all right. He would have been fine.
Well, he's 40 and you were 13.
Yeah, well, I was 11.
11.
I had less blood to lose here.
Less blood to lose. But yes, so basically that match I don't understand the finish.
No, I didn't like it.
I was just like, first of all, Edge is gonna go away again and he's gonna retire this year. Like he doesn't need the win. No. And Finn did. Finn really needed the win.
Speaking of, he's a heel too. I was gonna say he could wrestle Roman, but he's a heel too.
I mean, he is beloved though. He's a beloved, gentle little man who we love in those pants. Man. Anyway. And AJ Styles isn't coming back anytime soon, so it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the person I had to beat him is not going to be in the company, so, you know, fuck me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that
brings us to that.
It brings us to that. So let's start with the first depressing moment of the weekend. I'm sitting there minding my own business, having a good time, and Vincent and Dutch show up at a Ring of Honor.
Strike one.
And I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. So I'm like,
Jay didn't show up there.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Jay didn't show up. It's gonna be fine. That means he's gonna be at WrestleMania, or he's gonna be at Raw. I was like, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. And then strike two was I had to see Vince in that fucking ridiculous pencil ass mustache with his dyed hair on TV going, I sold my company, which he didn't really sell his company. It's a merger. It's not a sell. So, but like he was very awkward. And at one point the guy was like, well, you know, if we don't agree, like we're not going to do it. Endeavor's not going to do it. And Vince was like, I thought I was your boss. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, do they know that he's being serious right now? He's not fucking with you. He really thought he was your boss. So that happened. And I was like, ooh, okay. And then Monday Night Raw, the abomination that was Monday Night Raw happened.
I mean, honestly, the ending was the best part. I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the ending.
So there were parts where I was like, oh yeah, that's Hunter's booking. But then there were other parts I was like, no. So the first part of the show, and my dad watched the first part of the show and then turned it off after the Dominic, Damian Priest, Bad Bunny thing, because he was like, well, I don't know who any of these people are, so I'm turning it off. I'm like, Brock is until the end, you weirdo. Anyway, all he knew was like, oh, hey, isn't that the guy who hates his dad? I was like, Dominic, yes. He doesn't know. Yeah. Anyway. So Cody comes out and he wants a rematch, guys. And Roman's like, nope, not getting a rematch. And Paul Heyman's like, nope, you're not getting it. And you notice the only one he didn't name was WrestleMania. So that's what tells me, okay, 40. We're looking at WrestleMania 40 then. Which is like the most Cody Rhodes thing ever because it's in Philadelphia and you know he's going to be like riding out on an eagle. And he's going to do like the Independence Day speech. Like it's going to be something.
Right.
Like it's going to look like the fucking 4th of July threw up.
like Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
God, you look like the 4th of July.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad. Okay, if we do go to Philly though, we have to make that TikTok. Just like film the Cody Rhodes with the sound. We'll get a hot dog too.
We'll wear like our Legally Blonde outfits.
Yeah.
American themed.
Want a hot dog real bad. Anyway. So Cody's like, well, then I want a tag match and I have a mystery partner. And they're like, uno momento, por favor. Let me talk it over. And I'm like, wow, they got Paul Heyman to speak Spanish. This is something. And they're like, yeah, but you know, it has to be and everybody's thinking that partner's Jay White. Like everybody I talked to was like, Jay White. It's Jay White. It's gonna be Jay White. And they're like, it has to be somebody who was on WrestleMania. And we're like, oh, not Jay White or LA Knight. All right. All right. I'm like, well, you know, maybe it'll be later. You know, maybe he'll come out with Gallows and Anderson. Yeah. Yeah. So then the first hour is commercial free, which I'm still trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
Because the next thing was Elias versus Almost. And it was 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Well,
long.
no, Brock came out during that segment. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, Brock came out. I think everybody knows Brock came out. But they were like very close buddies. And it was like.
Brock was having a great time.
It was weird.
I'm going to miss Cowboy Brock so bad.
You know what the best part is, though? The entire time Brock, like, over WrestleMania weekend, he's like, I really like being a cowboy. Well, Brock.
Yeah. Brock's cowboy era is over. And
R.I.P. Cowboy Brock.
I
still hated you the entire time.
I didn't.
Anyway, so Brock and Cody were. I feels like honestly that Cody was like, I don't know how we're partners, but this is great. So, and Brock almost tore his pec, like shaking his hand, like it was very aggressive. It's very aggressive. So then we have Almost and Elias, which I was like, who booked this?
That was a Vince move, wasn't Almost on TV for sure.
And we know it is because Almost didn't have his gear and had to go find it before. So like, poor Almost wasn't ready. He didn't have his gear. He's like, oh shit, guess we're wrestling tonight. So that happened. Obviously, Almost won and made Elias look really pathetic. And that's when everybody was like, oh no. Oh no. Because the rumor was going around that Vince was backstage. So at that point, everybody was like, oh no, this is bad. So then we had Damian Priest and Bad Bunny and Dom Dom. Well, okay, so it started with Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio, which was a decent match. Like I'll give it that because it's a match we've never seen. So I was like, okay, this is Hunter's booking because it's a match we've never seen. It was a decent match. I mean, we all knew that Rey wasn't going to win it, but we were like, it's a good match. And of course, Dom Dom comes out, Priest, and they get involved with Bad Bunny. And that part, I was like, okay, this is not bad.
Yep.
Like that.
Setting up for Puerto Rico, we get it.
Setting up for Puerto Rico, we all kind of knew what was coming, but I was not mad at it. I thought it was great. So I'm like, okay. And then shit got really weird. And by really weird, I mean really fucking weird. We started seeing random shit just happen. Like the Seth come out and
dance around
and do his music and then walk away. But the rumor and innuendo is that Pretty Deadly were supposed to come out then. And which I'm like, that would make sense. But no. Obviously that didn't happen. Then we get Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come out. And they face the Street Profits in a really good match. That I feel like was Hunter booking. It was actually a very good match. My only thing is I would have had some kind of like, I would have Sami and Kevin been like, you guys won the tag showcase. We're going to give you a title match. I would have at least had that. So then we had a backstage segment where, and this is where I feel is very Hunter because it includes Bronson Reed. And Vince doesn't like Bronson Reed for some reason. So Bobby Lashley, and they put some reality into this because they were talking about how Lashley was very upset about not being on the WrestleMania card and only showing up with the trophy. And then Bronson Reed shows up. And they were talking about doing a fight. And Mustafa Ali shows up then and says that Lashley's very negative and he just needs to get over it. Then we get the short match of Lashley versus Mustafa Ali. I feel like that match was definitely Vince booked because it was like 2 minutes. So there's that. Hold on. I'm looking. The next Vince moment that had to be a Vince moment is we have Bianca Belair come out and talk about her match. And then Rhea Ripley comes out and is like, we're going to face each other one day.
Yeah, that was weird.
We're going to face each other one day. And she's like, oh yeah, we're going to face each other one day. And I'm like,
that was very random.
Why? Then we had the number one contenders match, Liv and Raquel versus Dakota and Io. Bayley was supposed to come out with them, and then Vince told her not to go out. The match was all right, but like, I wasn't a fan of it. And of course, they made Damage Control look awful. Then the part that we know had to be Vince, Matt Riddle comes out on his goddamn scooter with the smallest fucking shorts. Okay, I was watching this YouTube channel and this guy was like, his hog was out. And I was like, yeah, what that thing in his pants was, there's not much holding him in. Like he had no knee pads, no nothing. It just those teeny tiny little fucking shorts on. And I'm like, no, sir. No, you put it away. Put the 13-inch whatever you got in your pants away, please, sir. We don't need to see it. And I really do think it might be 13 inches. It close. 11 to 13. Has to be.
No, thank you. I mean, the
Yeah.
porn stars like it, so.
Well, yeah, because they do cocaine together. How long till he gets popped for cocaine again?
I know.
Yeah.
Needs to stick to the weed.
Well, yeah, he can't do that though. And then next we get a very bizarre segment, where Byron is talking to Trish, Lita, and Becky, and Becky looks pissed. Like, Becky looks pissed. She's over it. They cut the promo. She doesn't look happy. And then we get to the tag match. Well, wasn't even a match because Cody got his ass whooped by Brock.
Yeah, but again, people are like, oh, he's buried. He's buried. No, he's not. He's not buried.
I mean, I get it, but like,
they got to give him something to do if they're going to make him wait for this. And giving him a rivalry with someone like Brock, who is a big like draw, whether you like him or not, he's a big draw. People love him, whether you like him or not. Like, it's not like they said, oh, go wrestle LA Knight, have a feud with LA Knight. They said, oh, go have a feud with Brock Lesnar. Like, there's worse options.
LA Knight would still be good, though.
But you know what I'm saying?
They're not like they're saying go wrestle Los Lotharios.
Well, but LA Knight is no Brock Lesnar. I'm just saying, whether you like Brock Lesnar or not, he's high up. He's a big draw. It's good for him.
It'll be interesting. I think, depending on how it's booked. I need to see the booking first, because on paper, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, again, it goes into who is booking it.
Right.
Because if it's Hunter booking it, I could get behind it, because it's not going to be this every week. But if it's Vince booking it, well, who knows what we could get every week. Also, let's talk about hashtag fire events, shall we? Apparently, hashtag fire events is picking up a lot of steam because the Bump had to turn their comments off yesterday. Because every comment on there, other than when Rhea was on, because it was every other comment then, was hashtag fire events.
Right.
And fire events has been trending every day since WrestleMania. So, and tomorrow there is a big effort to hijack SmackDown and chant fire Vince the entire time. To the point now where Triple H supposedly is starting off SmackDown this week. So, either he's going to say goodbye and walk away, or I don't know.
Oh, God.
It's something. It's something, guys. I don't know. I don't know really what to think about it. Like, I agree. Because I've been partaking in the hashtag fire Vince, because fuck Vince and his stupid fucking mustache and his fucking sexual assault charges. We don't like Vince on this show. We don't. Every episode from beginning to today, we've never been like, wow, Vince, you did great.
Right.
So I think for me, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it could work. It could work. But at the same time, I think people need to understand, like, this may not be forever. And kind of as I've read things and kind of looked into the paperwork and stuff, this could be, and I'm kind of understanding it this way, but I could be wrong. Vince could just be like, I'm in creative now, fuck you. Part of me is wondering if this is the last gasp of somebody who's had control over this thing every day for 50 years. And he's like losing control of it because obviously he's no longer the owner. And Monday was like his last gasp of, I'm going to control this one more time before I cannot control it anymore. That's kind of what I'm hoping it is. But I don't know. No! Vince's last gasp of life.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Not saying we want him dead, but his last gasp of life.
Right.
So,
You're not saying you want him dead? Okay.
I'm not gonna have that much control in my hands.
Hmm.
I'll keep my thoughts to myself on this one, but I think y'all know if I had the option, I would have kept Jay Briscoe. I'm just saying. Just saying. He atoned for his sins. Somebody else didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
What he's gonna say?
No, what Vince is doing.
I don't know. I think trying to guess what he's doing is just why, because you're never gonna know. He's crazy.
He's crazy.
Like, I think, don't get me wrong, he's a good businessman because all he cares about is money. So, he's making the moves that are best for him, but what he thinks is best for him, who the fuck knows?
This is why I'm starting to think it's control, though, is because Hunter was making money hand over fist. Because if it was just about money, they were selling out record-breaking crowds. And merch was at a fucking 4-year high, and they're selling. It was the biggest WrestleMania, and Vince had really nothing to do with it. And same with SummerSlam. SummerSlam was, highest build, and so was Survivor Series. And there's all these, they're making money hand over fist.
Right.
And if it was money, then Vince would just be like, well, hey, like you're making us money. I don't think it's money at this point. I don't think it has anything to do with money. I think it has everything to do with Vince. This is his last hope because in 8-9 weeks, he's not going to be able to do anything.
That's true. It's like his last hurrah.
Exactly. He just to show that he could still book a show, which that's what I hope is he's just like he was in town and the Endeavor people were there and he wanted to be like, I'm gonna do it one last time for shits and giggles. And it went terribly, and I hope somebody talked him out of ever doing it ever again. But I there's a part of me that would hope that somebody at Endeavor, which Endeavor, they're, in 9 weeks or 12 weeks or 8 weeks, whenever this deal closes, like Vince cannot do this again.
Right.
And he's kind of just going to be his figurehead self. And if you watch Jimmy Van on Fightful, he's the guy who owns Fightful. He's like on the stock market, deals with all this business shit all the time. He told people not to get too worried yet. And that's kind of how I feel right now is I'm worried, but I'm not optimistic. I'm being very cautious about this. Because everybody was like, "Oh my God, they named him chairman." Well, if they have a merger, you have to have a chairman named. You can't just be like, "We're not going to have a chairman." But you have to remember these board of directors every year have an election.
Right.
So Jimmy Van from Fightful thinks Vince isn't going to survive that first round of elections. Especially if he tanks the company right now. Which, if tomorrow Hunter is not in charge, there's going to be some financial complications. I think people will be fucking done and will stop watching and will stop going, and you could see a lot of tickets for Backlash to hit the black market and people reselling their tickets and not wanting to go. And I would hope they're not dumb enough to think that people won't care, because apparently the reaction is a lot because they're turning comments off on things because people are flooding with fire events, and Endeavor isn't going to like the look of that. They're going to be like, what the fuck did we purchase? Like, what the fuck did we do?
Right.
So I'm hoping that if this is a thing, it's temporary. And another thing that's comforting with that is in Vince's deal, it mentions a severance package if he is voted off the board.
Oh.
So the groundwork is laid where he could get the boot
Interesting.
because he doesn't have controlling shares anymore. He doesn't own the company anymore. But I'm just hoping again that this was just the last gasp of a man who's losing control over something. And if that's the case, we can just forget this Raw ever happened. The only thing that it fucked over is we don't have Jay White now.
I know.
That was strike 3, where I was like depressed. Like literally depressed because I was like, oh, well. Guess we're never watching Jay again.
I know. I didn't even look at the clip or anything. So
I didn't know. I saw the pictures and I was like, I felt sick and I was just like, I'm going to bed. Like, it just sucks because, and I don't want to hear people be like, well, just watch AEW then. Like, it's not that
Right.
simple. Like, it's not that simple.
Mm-mm.
I'm not putting a cent into Tony Khan's pocket.
Right.
So, I refuse. Which sucks because I would like a Righteous shirt, and the new Jay shirt looks cool, and I'd buy that, but nope. Sorry.
Mm.
So it's kind of depressing. And you can tell this wasn't the original plan because, like, remember, he was like, I'm never gonna be in New Japan again. I can't be in New Japan again. And then, like,
Right.
he's like, well, Forbidden Door's coming up. I'm like,
Ugh.
anyway. Yeah, I was fucking so disillusioned last night. I was just like, fuck it. We're gonna watch it as a comedy from now on because this is this is awful. And it's awful. And you feel terrible because you're like, you want to not watch it, but then you're already so connected to like the talent.
Right.
So then like you feel almost like it's a betrayal, which sucks. Which I know on their end it's the same way. Like Jay White wasn't going into it being like, it's a betrayal to my fans who don't watch AEW. Because I don't want to hear every New Japan fan watches AEW. That's not the case. Same with Impact. Not every Impact fan watches AEW. And vice versa. Not every AEW fan watches New Japan and not every AEW fan watches Impact. But I feel like Tony Khan thinks, well, you know what? We could just have all this crossover and everything be great. And that's not the case. Sorry. Also, he had Mark Briscoe lose that match.
I know.
That's some fucked up shit. I saw that and was like, you're so fucked up, Tony Khan. That story would have fucking made Ring of Honor. Are you stupid?
It would have been a good feel-good moment.
It would have. And everybody's like, well, it's like Tony Khan. He'll get Samoa Joe again. I'm like, or not Tony Khan. It's like Cody. I'm like, his brother just died and you had a 5-minute promo about the day his brother died. Like
they did?
They did. I sent it to you. He was like, I cried.
Yeah. That was on the day? Oh, boy.
I cried. They played it right before and he was like, my brother wore this hat right before and he said, I'm going to take a picture for Twitter and say that I got a new hat. And then he came out wearing the fucking hat. And I was like, is this a joke? Like, it's almost worse than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes I can make an excuse for. That I cannot make an excuse for. Like, you're never gonna find that level of like the crowd behind, and like the Briscoes' parents were there and his kids were there. Even the little baby who was in the NICU was there.
Oh God.
Yeah. That I don't understand. I don't. I have no plausible, like the Cody thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. That I don't understand. No. Also, I'm sad because Vincent and Dutch aren't gonna be there. Sad. Sucks. What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to live, laugh, and love in these conditions? and also, this is week 6 of, I don't know where Bray Wyatt is, but he was at a stoplight and said, my WrestleMania is tomorrow, and then never showed up. So,
Where is Bray?
he was at a stoplight and said, my WrestleMania is tomorrow, and then never showed up.
I mean, like, where is he though? Really, like, what's going on?
Supposedly he's sick, which I said last week. I said could be anything from herpes to the COVID, or probably not COVID because he was in LA, or who knows. I don't know. He's gone. Other than at the stoplight giving people false hope, which I was even like, sir, you're giving people false hope. Why are you doing this? Which, I mean, if Vince is back, then he could kiss his job goodbye. So, I mean, maybe it's better that way. He went out on a high note.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's what I worry about, too, is like all these people who got hired back are probably going to lose their job.
Well, you never know. You never know.
I can think people who were still there that are going to lose their job. He's not going to. Again, if Vince is really in charge, I could definitely see Scarlett and Cross lose their jobs. I could see Hit Row, Bray.
Hit Row haven't been on TV in a while.
Gallows and Anderson all lose their jobs. And then Gallows and Anderson are going to get bitter again and just start to do another podcast episode where they talk about how bitter they are, and then probably go back to Impact and just start the vicious cycle all over again. Like, but I'll tell you right now, though, Gallows will have them booked within 24 hours of their non-compete. You know why? Because that's what he does. But yeah, state of wrestling in one word. I don't know. IDK. That's my one word.
Yeah.
IDK. I don't even know. Like, it's so funny how Saturday everybody was so excited and so pumped. And like, that is the most excitement I've seen for a WrestleMania in like years. Like, people were so excited. And then in 24 hours, it just went away. Like, just poof. Poof. And then like the news got even worse. Like, so the Endeavor sale was announced. Obviously, we had the dog shit episode of Raw. And then we find out that one of the Bushwhackers died in LA, who was supposed to be at WrestleCon. He died.
Oh, gosh.
He's dead in LA. And then we find out that Vicky Guerrero allegedly has been harboring her husband who SA'd, and y'all know what SA'd means, her daughter on a cruise, and apparently Vicky blames her daughter for her husband SAing her because she was drunk.
Oh,
and then the drama gets worse because Eddie's oldest daughter was like, yes, it happened. So she confirmed it happened and then said, but the way she acted afterwards. So basically went on to blame her sister for how it happened. And then you have Chavo, who's like, no, I'm on Sherilyn's side. I think it happened. It obviously happened. There's something wrong. Chavo's on her side. And then Eddie's secret love child chimes in on this. And she's, yeah. And all I keep thinking is somewhere Eddie Guerrero is pissed. And it happened on Dominic's birthday. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So now Vicky's Twitter and Instagram are gone because people were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You just blamed your daughter for getting SA'd? Like, are you kidding me right now?" So yeah, that happened. That happened. Also then we have tonight Josh Alexander is injured. He was the Impact World Champion and his son was in the ring with him to give the belt up because he's injured. And his son grabbed the belt and said, "No, this is our belt."
No,
And his son's like 5.
that's sweet.
And he grabbed it and he's like, "No, it's mine." And I'm like, "It's killing me. Stop." Like in the videos on Twitter, and I'm just like, "Oh my God." And people are just like, "It's the saddest thing in the world." He's just like, I don't want to give it up. And I'm like, "Oh." But anyway, yeah, everything's just really sad and depressing lately.
It's not been a good week.
It has not. Saturday was like the best day, and then everything else went to shit. Major shit. Literally, also the report is that WWE were pretty sure that Jay White was going to sign as of Friday. Vince, you stupid motherfucker. How do you fuck this up? How? Like, that's literally what I've been asking myself this entire time. How do you fuck this up? How? Like, how do you fuck up Vincent and Dutch? I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Everything sucks. Also, I found out that the Drag Race finale was in LA the same day as WrestleMania weekend. So we could have gone to the Drag Race finale too.
Oh boy.
Oh! I'm really sad, guys. I was like all having FOMO because everyone's having a good time, and now everybody's miserable, and I'm miserable too. Also, hashtag fire Vince. Because we're putting it in this episode title, so hashtag fire Vince.
Oh boy.
Well, hey, at least I didn't say hashtag Vince needs to be 6 feet under.
That's true.
Yeah. He'd just be fired. He'd have a lot of money if he got fired. That might be the best thing for him. He got that severance package. Just saying. He'd have a severance package. Be a good time. Good time to be had by all, because right now I'm like worried about everybody's storylines. And if I really even want to watch wrestling without a DVR for the next whenever till Vince croaks or gets fired. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Where are you at? Because we're both pretty disillusioned by this.
I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I'm not panicking yet, so.
You are panicking less than I am. I am panicking a lot more.
I don't know. I'm just kind of, we'll see.
Chelsea Green is back in the emergency room.
Oh no.
She had a distended gallbladder.
She can't catch a break.
She can't. Poor girl, jeez. She thought she was just hungover really bad. And apparently not. Apparently it was a distended gallbladder. Now, you know what that means? Now I have a new fear anytime we drink a lot.
Your gallbladder's gonna do that.
Yeah. Be like, "Oh no." Okay, this is totally off topic, but I don't care. I still have like a fear that my gallbladder is gonna like erupt, and I don't know why.
Oh boy. What? That's odd. That's odd
I know.
fear.
It's very strange, but I'm always, because like I have like pain in my sternum, and I'm always like, "Oh my God, it's my gallbladder. I'm gonna die."
Oh my
Never
God.
my gallbladder, but I'm always like, "Oh." But let's talk about one other very sad thing while we're here. During Mark Briscoe's match, he crawled over the corner and reached his hand out like he was trying to tag somebody.
No.
And nobody was there, obviously. And then he just kind of looked at the corner like, it was so, girl, I saw the gif of it. I was like, this man's trying to kill me. I'm gonna cry.
Oh my gosh.
Like he just crawls to the corner with his hand out, and I'm like,
That's sad.
and you're gonna make that man lose? Yeah. Tony Khan, you're a fucking piece of shit. That's what you are. You're a fucking piece of shit. Also, if anybody wants to watch something positive, please watch the end speech of Effie's Big Gay Brunch because it was very nice. And he talked about how trans lives matter. It was great. It was a great story. I teared up a little bit on that too. I teared up a lot, let me tell you. And ELP wore his Protect Trans Life shirt too. And I was like, I need that shirt for one. And two, that's great. Things are a mess, so, you know.
That is true. The world is a mess.
The world is a mess. And everybody's like, but you can watch AEW. And I'm like, I have something else to watch on Wednesday, so no. Because it's Vanderpump Rules, baby. It's the scandal of it all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. You have to start watching it, I swear. I need somebody to talk to about this.
I don't know. I can barely focus on any TV anymore, honestly.
This is like trashy drama, though. We love trashy drama.
We do.
We do. Yeah, and plus, Lala Kent reminds me. My mom even said it. Lala reminds her of you. Well, you know what I mean. Because Lala like broke up with her longtime boyfriend, and she's like, I haven't had an orgasm since 2016. And like the girl like went and found this guy, and he's like good looking, and she was like, you don't understand. It was great. I'm like, I love you so much. I love her. She's amazing. But yeah, guys, Vanderpump Rules. Everybody should watch it because the scandal's coming up, and I need to talk about it. It's gonna be a must. It's gonna be a must watch. Also, we'll be talking about it on here because you know I won't be able to shut up about it. And also, if you haven't realized, guys, I have short hair now. So
Did you post a picture of it?
I did. I posted on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I did. It's very cute.
It is cute.
It's already longer.
Yeah, my hair grows fast too.
I know. The lady who cut my hair was like, it's not gonna grow that fast. I'm like, you don't know my hair, honey. Like I've cut it to this length and it goes down to like my boobs in like 8 months.
Huh.
My mom says I have Rapunzel hair. It just like grows. It's already grown. Like it was originally here. It's probably grown like half an inch.
Oh wow.
I know, quarter of an inch. I cut it like 2 weeks ago. It's crazy, guys. But anyway, I think that's the end of this episode.
Yeah, I get ready for bed.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Sex and the City again because it's kind of all I watch, other than Vanderpump, and occasionally wrestling. So, and there you go with that. Anyway, if you're disillusioned, I guess just wait it out.
Wait it out. That's right.
And this is what I've kind of told people too, is I'm very cautious about it, but if SmackDown is back to the way it was, then maybe I'm right, and it was just Vince in town wanting to peacock himself because the company merged.
That's true.
If SmackDown is terribly wrong, then we can maybe worry. That's when I would worry. If you see SmackDown very disjointed and last minute changes and all that shit, then I would worry. But they've announced a lot of matches already, so I'm cautiously optimistic on that front. Because they've announced a lot of segments and a lot of matches already. So Vince would never do that. Remember, like when we were covering Raw before, it would be literally like 20 minutes before Raw started, and we would be like, I don't know what's happening in this episode.
Right.
So, but today they announced Rhea Ripley has a segment. Dominic and Damian Priest have a match against the guy you saw at the airport and Ray. Sammy and Jey Uso have a match. Brawling Brutes versus Imperium have a match. Oh, Escobar says. And Hunter is starting off SmackDown. So they've announced a decent amount. So part of me is wondering if he announced it because he's like, if I don't announce this, people are gonna fucking freak out again.
That's true.
So I feel like, maybe this is a good sign that everything's okay, and I was maybe right that Vince is just being like, you know how old men are. They're crazy. But anyway, guys, next week we'll discuss what we think is going on now, because I feel like the next 2 episodes of Raw and SmackDown are going to be very interesting. It'd be an indicator of what's happening. But also, if you're kind of disillusioned but still want to watch wrestling, NXT the past 3 weeks has been really good.
Oh, really?
Like Tuesday's episode was like Raw after Mania vibes. It was really good. Like not a shitty Raw after Mania, but like a decent one. Because there was the Braun Breaker turn, Cora Jade turned. It was pretty good. Shawn Michaels, Shawn A. He might be the only thing that people watch anymore. Mainly because Vince doesn't give a shit about NXT. So it might work in our favor that Vince doesn't give a shit about NXT.
That's a good point.
Yes. So anyway, I would go back and watch NXT this week if you guys want to watch something good. I enjoyed it. I don't usually watch NXT, and I needed something, and it delivered. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, next week we'll talk about where we're at on this. If we're still disillusioned, or if this week was just a very sick dream, and like everything
they call it
okay.
a fever dream.
Yes, if this is just the fever dream, or if we're okay, and everything's fine, and Hunter's back, and it's gonna be all right. Or if things are terrible again, and we cry more. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. We got to give it some time, guys. We're gonna see where this goes. Obviously, if we've watched this long,
right,
we're probably not gonna stop.
No.
But man, will we complain about it.
It's been much worse.
It's been much worse. But man, will we complain about it. We'll definitely complain about it. And also, I'm going to look at some more of the paperwork business-wise and see, because, again, I think there is an out. And I think maybe this could be one of those things where we just kind of have to write it out, and Vince, by the end of this year, won't be there. So,
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I'm not panicking yet. Now, if things are terrible, then we might. But right now, we're okay. We're okay. Definitely still #fire Vince. Fucking put pressure on him, though, because this is funny seeing them scramble because they didn't think the fans were going to organize against it. So definitely keep the pressure on. Like, don't act. Yeah. Plus, I like to fuck with people, so it just works. But anyway, yeah. Definitely keep the pressure on. But again, don't do anything rash. Don't burn your shirts. It's going to be all right. We're going to be okay. And if all else fails, I guess we're watching NXT and GCW, because GCW is still good every week. Every pay-per-view they have is still good. So, and it's on Fight Plus and only like $7. So, give it that. Anyway, guys, until next week, when who knows what we're watching. Bye.
Bye.
Surgeons keep our hearts beating. They do the amazing, help save lives, and so can you. Your CSL plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines that can give Grandpa the chance for his heart to swell when he meets his new grandson, or give a bride the chance for her heart to skip a beat on her wedding day. Every plasma donation helps more than you know. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate today at your local CSL Plasma Center and be rewarded for your generosity.